really when you spend so much time with all the guys, you just click in, kind of find your rhythm, learn to appreciate each other's differences. And I really like this team. I think we have great chemistry. We get along well on and off the court, and I'm really excited to see what we can do this year.
Just talk about the process of choosing Florida and deciding to come here for your last year.
Definitely. It was kind of a whirlwind after I decided I was going to transfer. I felt really blessed by all the coaches that contacted me and all the offers I had. But really when it came down to the end of it, I think Florida was the best fit for me, both academically and athletically. I played with Coach Mincy for a year at Charleston, so that connection helped recruiting-wise. And then I got to meet Coach White, and I think he's a great coach. I really love his style of play with getting up and down the court, kind of pressuring guys, less plays and more freedom for the players. I think he's definitely a player's coach. And then obviously they had the nuclear engineering masters, which I was pretty interested in. So that kind of perfect storm, whirlwind, really made Florida very appealing to me.
At what point did you decide that you wanted to go somewhere else for your last year?
That was a tough decision. I was kind of talking to my parents about it after I got injured at Charleston, and just thinking long and hard about it, prayed about it. I just thought for my future it was the best option to be able to start my master's somewhere, get that paid for, and then obviously be able to play basketball one more year at a really high level school.
Nuclear engineering, how's that so far?
It's not easy, but it's good. I really enjoy it. It's an interesting subject. Started doing research. I really like all the professors, and my fellow classmates are kind of helping me out and agreed to give me notes and kind of give me the handouts when I miss class. So.
What would you want to do with that degree after basketball?
Obviously I want to try to play as long as possible, and then come back and finish my master's, and then either get a job with like the power plant, nuclear power, or even radiation detection.
Is it hard to balance basketball and that kind of workload?
It is hard. I think time management's key. I did physics as an undergrad, so I've always kind of had to balance the academics and athletics. So as long as you stay on top of it and study hard, you'll be fine.
When did you kind of clue into that path, that career path?
My mom always kind of pushed me to be well-rounded, not just play basketball, thrive in the classroom and whatever sports you try to play. So she kind of drove me to that, and then I really liked science growing up, so kind of just the math science brain kicked in, and I had a really good high school physics teacher who kind of got me interested in physics, and then the more physics I did in college, I really liked the nuclear aspect of it, so nuclear engineering was just the next logical progression.
You and your dad ever play one-on-one or no?
No.
No?
Never played one-on-one. He's too old for that now. But he definitely.
You play with his younger sons, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely taught me to shoot, taught me the underhanded free throw. Helped me growing up and helped my development as a player, as well as my mom. My mom kind of helped me in my younger years because my dad didn't really like to work with, if you're not quite good enough yet. So when I could barely dribble and all that stuff, I was out there in the drive with my mom, doing cone dribbling and two-ball stuff. And then after I got better and more skill, my dad kind of took over and kind of taught me the fundamentals of the game and how to play the game the right way, that kind of thing.
What's it like to come from a basketball family? I mean, your dad, half brothers in the NBA, stuff like that. Your mom played and stuff.
I just think of it as a blessing. I feel like I've grown up in one of the greatest basketball families of all time, and just to be able to have that wealth of knowledge available to me has just been phenomenal for my development as a player. Being able to come home, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to your half brothers about anything that might be going on in your life, whether it's basketball or basketball related with recruiting or coaches or anything like that. So it's just been a real blessing.
What player in Florida has helped the transition be the easiest? What guys helped you get accustomed to Florida basketball the most?
I think they've all been great, really accepting of me. But when I first got here in summer school, my roommates were Kavarius, Keith Stone, and Kayvon Allen. And I know Kayvon and Keith are kind of quiet, but they both welcomed me in. We had a lot of late night Waffle House runs together, so they all really welcomed me. Though it's been a great experience so far.
Casey said that he pictured you as a catch and shoot guy, but that you're crafty and you can get to the basket as well. How have you developed your game over time offensively, and how do you view your?
Definitely. I think I've always stressed trying to be a multi-dimensional player, so not just stuck on a three-point line catching and shooting, but being able to attack, finish at the rim, as well as have a mid-range game. I think that's kind of a lost art in today's game. People either shoot the three or are drivers, and just trying to score at a variety of levels. So mid-range, attacking the rim, and being able to shoot the three. And I think that just adds another dimension to your game and allows you to be a complete scorer.
For the people who haven't seen you shoot underhand free throws, how long does that take for them to figure out that he's not hurt, he's not,
usually the first
that.
one, everyone's kind of shocked. They look around like, well, what was he just doing? And then, they're all paying pretty close attention to the second one. But I'm excited to bring the underhand free throw to the Yodome this year, and I'm sure I'll catch some grief for it on the away games. But they can't say anything if you make them. So.
What was that?
Do you get a hard time on the road?
I've gotten heckled before. I think the funniest one was in high school. I missed a free throw and they started chanting, "You're adopted." But that was actually a pretty funny one. I had to give him some credit for that. But I think that's part of the fun of college basketball, just the atmosphere and people cheering and yelling and distracting. That's what makes the game fun for the fans, and ultimately that's one of the most important things is we wouldn't have the sport without the fans. So.
When did you start with the underhand free throws?
I really switched about 2 weeks before my junior year in high school. My dad always tells the story. I walked up to him and I was like, "Dad, I think I'm going to shoot underhanded this year." And he says, "Well, that's great, son, but it would have been nice if you practiced a little bit before you decided to switch." So really with the underhand free throw, the main thing is just getting the feel. So I shot it for junior and senior year in high school and then the first 3 years at Charleston. And I felt confident in it, but I really didn't have the feel yet. So I was still hovered around 75%. And then just this past year, I think the muscle memory finally clicked where I just now feel like it's automatic. And I shot, a good percentage last year from the line. So looking to keep that rolling this year.
What role are you expecting this year?
Honestly, I'm just trying to help in whatever way possible to make this team win. I spent 4 years at Charleston. We got close to the NCAA tournament, but we were never able to make it there. So this year I just want to make the NCAA tournament and hopefully make a run. So whatever the coaches need, I'm willing to do, whether it's scoring, whether it's passing and assisting, or I think this year we got so much talent-wise that whoever's on that game is going to get a lot of shots, and I think everyone's very unselfish and willing just to kind of put their own egos and personal goals aside as long as the team's winning. That's the most important thing.